So I hear you've performed with some pretty big names. Tell me about those experiences.
Well, they're all unique. You know, I mean, some of the cool things that you get to do is meet and hang out with people who are really iconic in your eyes. So I have, you know, I'll never forget pulling up to a venue, and I got out of the car. Parking was right behind the stage. It was an outdoor venue, and I got out. I opened the door, and I heard "Bridge Over Troubled Water" by Art Garfunkel, and you know, I just kind of stood there for a while and thought, gosh, I love this song, you know, and I'd known it for so long and loved it for so long, and so that was a lot of fun. I had an interesting experience, you know, opening, American Pie. Somebody help me.
Don McLean.
Don McLean, thank you. So Don McLean is singing American Pie, and I opened for Don McLean, and it's American Pie, you know. Yeah. I'm listening to him perform, and he got the words wrong. So I felt good about, you know, I can make a mistake anytime now.
Yeah.
If he can do it, I can do it.
Wow. So would you say that's one of your favorite people you've ever performed with?
Well, I think the favorite person I've ever performed with is Janice Ian, who lives down in Nashville. And just because early on, she's a sweet, sweet lady. She took me and invited me to dinner. We didn't know each other. She invited me to dinner. We sat down. We had dinner together. And Janice is very. She understands that there are generations, and that that older people need to teach younger people, who need to teach younger people, and so forth and so on. And so I got just such a great little education about the music business, performance in general, a professional approach, things of that sort. That you know, I refer back to that in my brain all the time. You know.
That's neat.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about your actual music a little bit more. Okay. So what was the first song you ever wrote?
It wasn't very good, Kendall. It was called Renaissance, was the name of the song. And I was living in Connecticut, in a town called Norwalk, Connecticut. I went to the beach. It was the first day of spring. And I wanted to quit my job, which I was fixing to do, and you know, kind of go do this rebirth, new career thing. I often, sometimes I go to schools and do songwriting workshops with younger kids, and so they always want to know the answer to that question, your first song. And so I share it with them, although I'm blocking it at this point. I try not to remember this song. But one of the lyrics, just to give you an example of how bad it was, one of the lyrics was, let's see, it goes, sun dies on a worn out winter day, tide brings forth life's promise, and the renaissance of the spring. He needs a renaissance of his being. Thoughts fly as he walks this beach alone. He looks cautiously over his shoulder to see he stood still too long, and his naked wisdom sings. And that's when the second graders explode, because, you know, wisdom isn't naked, just people are.
Right, right.
So anyway, it was, as I tell the younger kids, you write your first song so that you can write your next song, and you write your next song so that you can make number 3 a little bit better, and hopefully that's the way it progresses.